Development of a SaaS solution. As the reader has probably already understood, I propose considering a methodology that allows obtaining the necessary resources from a certain environment. In the case of business, this environment is the community. This means we could receive support from each other, from ourselves. People successfully use this principle in B2C on secondary markets, as we discussed earlier. In B2B, this can also work through exchange and joint cooperations. We have the power to solve three problems at once: remonetizing already used resources, a solution based on the principle of zero-waste production and rational use of creative power, providing a convenient, quick, and most importantly, free search for new solutions, and collective thinking when planning and creating something new. Let's compare the concept with something simpler. In childhood, we traded toys with friends, such as robots and cars. In my case, a bit later, it was popular to exchange discs and even cartridges from gaming consoles. This was a must-have since few could boast about their wealth and large collections of video games in those years. These initiatives eventually led to the emergence of industry giants, platforms like Steam, GOG Galaxy, and Epic Games Store. Our ancestors also acted collectively. My grandfather had a cart that he sometimes lent to others, and he would occasionally borrow the collective farm's horse. We had our own small farm with cows, pigs, and chickens, but it was impossible to have everything, so we had to trade. Simple symbiosis. You help me, I help you. Back then, this was not just a hobby or a life hack, but a necessity of life, a way to survive and feed our families. Bartering has been an effective tool since the earliest times, even before the first money appeared. Speaking of the solution, I mean the same thing. I am talking about creating a software solution that addresses the demands for reuse and teamwork among interested parties. In terms of real actions, business today largely exists in isolation. The most we engage in are business breakfasts and entrepreneur clubs, where there is little practical benefit in terms of concrete actions. I believe we can implement the concept I described above, and to prove this, I want to share my developments on this topic. Since 2019, this idea has been growing in my mind, occasionally taking shape as draft sketches and various calculations. At the time of writing this text, our team is working on a prototype of the first PRM system of its kind, designed to solve the problem of resource search in the small and medium business segments. Partner Relationship Management, PRM, is a system and strategy for managing relationships with partners. PRM includes methods and tools that help companies effectively interact and collaborate with their business partners, as well as create partner networks. Allow me to share some details with you. As I see it, the main problem in creating a software solution for this task is the presence of an independent party acting as an arbiter, who maintains a balance of fairness and serves as a guarantor in disputed situations. Additionally, a wide range of functionality and well-thought-out tools for its implementation are necessary. In other words, it all comes down to a well-designed service operation mechanism and a system of balances. As can be seen from the information above, the project underwent a long development period during which it was questioned, changed. There were at least 3 intermediate versions between the first and final designs, and new useful services were developed. As a result, the idea stood the test of time and began to gradually come to life. During this time, I discussed it with various people, both from the industry and outside of it. I collected feedback from car dealers and conducted surveys to gauge the potential demand for this product. At that time, I managed to get only a few responses, but the result was quite clear. A significant portion of the audience is interested in the new solution. Some people probably didn't understand the essence of the proposed tools, thinking it was an analog of something already existing. This is not surprising, as it often happens. New wrappers for already functioning products are regularly created. For example, there are currently more than 600 CRM systems, the vast majority of which do exactly the same thing. More than 600, Carl! I am confident that once the initial excitement from the effect of the working product sets in, even those who categorically refused in our survey will reconsider their opinions. In business, if you don't use it, others will. I discussed this idea with colleagues abroad as well. marketing and sales managers, commercial directors, and even CEOs from the automotive industry, as well as advertising sales specialists with over 20 years of experience. They found it complex but interesting. The main doubts expressed were about the difficulty of reaching agreements in the case of collective development by teams with identical roles. I think this is precisely why such services have not yet been created specifically in the field of advertising. The doubts of the respondents were quite expected and understandable. We took their concerns into account during the planning stage and specifically addressed the possibilities of minimizing the risks of users receiving unexpected results. We considered this at both the management and interface mechanics levels, meticulously working through various scenarios. The mutually beneficial exchange and collaboration will allow system users to significantly accelerate the promotion creation process, improve the quality of advertising materials, save budget funds, plan promotions more effectively. In essence, within a brand, this could be done by the distributor, vendor, but they do not do it or do not do enough because overall they are indifferent. Sales and associated problems are the dealer's tasks. As a result, dealers are forced to promote themselves, create image materials, and spend their own money and time on this, which is scarce in an aggressive and highly competitive business environment. The product we are discussing will provide dealers with crowdsourcing tools, unite them even beyond specific brands and industries, and create a full-fledged business community not only based on interests, but also on real interactions. To bring it to life, a fair assessment system, PRM, was carefully thought out. In addition to their concerns about the complexities of such cooperations, my foreign colleagues expressed confidence in the benefits of the services for groups of 20. As these groups of car dealers are informally allied with each other in the West for mutual benefit and to solve common problems. Their comments only strengthened my belief in the project. I expect the project to benefit everyone on a win-win principle. Just take a look at the following table of advantages. First, for businesses, they will be able to cut costs and improve sales conversion. Their specialists will spend less time on repetitive tasks and focus on strategic ones. And contractors will gain access to more large-scale orders and a pool of interns. Second, for countries as a whole, there will be more entrepreneurs thanks to improved conditions for small businesses. The economy will become more stable across small and medium-sized sectors. The number of businesses in advertising, design, and IT will grow, and new professionals will get their start in these industries. Third, for everyday consumers, increased competition in retail and auto industries will lower prices, and overall quality of life will improve as a result of economic growth. So no matter the group, businesses, governments, or people, everyone gains something valuable. With a final score of 333, everyone emerges as a winner. Thanks to the principle of interconnection, all market participants, including consumers, benefit in the medium and long term. Thus, the solution addresses all the above-mentioned issues simultaneously. Moreover, it partially resolves them through each other. Using Euler circles, this logic can be visually understood. At the intersections on each side, there are zones of interest capable of generating new opportunities, development, and technologies. The project will be a SaaS system operating on the BPS principle. SaaS, software as a service, is a model for delivering software where applications are hosted on remote servers and provided to users over the Internet. BPaaS, business process as a service, is a model for delivering business processes as a service through cloud technologies. BPaaS includes the automation and outsourcing of business processes such as accounting, human resource management, payment processing, and others using cloud services. We have decomposed the workflows and created functionality based on their components that allows for a significant increase in both individual and collective efficiency. According to our calculations, this efficiency can increase by 2 to 10 times depending on the specific case, with average results of 5 to 7 times. By using the term efficiency, we mean saving time and money, in addition to which users will also save their energy and creative potential reserves. In my opinion, If we manage to implement the concept and engage small businesses, starting with dealer networks, the economic changes will not take long to manifest, and with the necessary scale, they will positively impact the economy of any country. Conclusion. In conclusion, I would like to add that if such a tool had existed during my years of working with numerous urgent tasks, I probably would have found free time for creativity. Today, marketers and entrepreneurs simply don't find the time for truly necessary tasks, getting bogged down in the specifics of promotion and operational routine, processes that truly deserve automation and simplification. True creativity should lie in improving interaction models and strategizing, not in the process of reinventing the wheel. Unfortunately or fortunately, almost all brilliant ideas have already been invented by someone. What truly amazes today is the ability to use these inventions, improve them, and move forward to new ideas without standing still, to make discoveries, revolutions, and breakthroughs. I believe the project's concept aligns with modern approaches to achieving technological leaps, as it is rooted in the idea of uniting the efforts of the entire community. As Genghis Khan said, "One finger cannot break a stick, but 5 fingers, clenched into a fist, can break it easily." Just as the best engineers today are achieving humanity's transition to renewable energy, we have the power to try to save small businesses using the same principle. It is within our power and interest to create a cohesive working system, as many well-known organizations have done within specific niche demands, just as society has been doing for many years in commercial segments. In business, it is customary to view each other as competitors, because business is often compared to sports, and sports are about competition. It is time to view each other as allies and act as a single organism interested in its own prosperity. The more competitive the market, the healthier it is, and the more motivated it is for new achievements.